Jelly beans, cheeseburger pizza, vanilla ice cream? Do you know what this baby hippopotamus, Roderick Heffley, and viewers like you have in common with the United States presidents? Everyone who is just mentioned has a favorite food. That's just part of being human, or hippopotamus. So in this video, I'm going to controversially rank every US president's favorite food. Making our way all the way back to the 1700s, we have George Washington, the first U.S. president whose favorite food was hoe cakes. Basically pancakes made with cornmeal, and I'm not the biggest pancake fan. They're just kind of bland in my opinion, even if you put syrup and stuff on it like George Washington liked to do. So I'll put it at the C tier. They're definitely edible, not as disgusting as some of the stuff that's going to be on this list. Next up we have John Adams, who enjoyed a humble, boiled New England dinner, usually consisting of codfish and potatoes and whatnot. Doesn't sound terrible. I'll put it at the B tier. Sounds fancy enough. But then we have Thomas Jefferson, whose favorite food was mac and cheese. I mean, just think about this. You have all these fancy people at the party with their fancy, expensive turtle soup that they're eating out of the shell of the dead turtle, and then Mr. Based comes over here with his mac and cheese and is like, nah bro, this is how food is supposed to be. So I'm putting this at the A tier. Sometimes mac and cheese is S tier if it's good enough, but the quality can vary depending on where you get it. Not exactly sure where Thomas Jefferson got his from. Then we have another winner with James Madison, whose favorite food was vanilla ice cream. That's a classic ice cream flavor, the default ice cream flavor. I'm putting that at the A tier. Next up though, we have James Monroe, whose favorite food was spoon bread. I guess it's just like mushy bread that you eat with a spoon. Doesn't sound very appealing to me. John Quincy Adams' favorite food, however, was fresh fruit, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's a little bit too healthy for my liking, but when you have it mixed together and it's nice and fresh, it does taste solid. I'll put it in the C tier. Things get a little weird though with Andrew Jackson, who liked leather britches beans. That's like green beans. And he would sometimes eat it with steak and meat, but guess what? I'm not a big fan of green beans at all. It goes in the F tier. I'm sorry. Martin Van Buren liked a lot of food like boar's head, but supposedly his favorite was oysters. I don't even feel qualified to rank this because I don't remember the last time I even had these. I'm sure they're fine, maybe underwhelming. I'm putting it in the C tier. This one is really bad though. William Henry Harrison's favorite food was burgoo. That is a squirrel and vegetable stew. Now, vegetables is enough for me to say I'm out, but squirrels? Come on. The ones that can fly are basically like a bird, and those should have been the national bird of our country. Not the eagle, not even the turkey, the flying squirrel. So as if the vegetables weren't disrespectful enough, they gotta put a squirrel in there too. Yeah, this is going at the bottom. John Tyler's favorite food was pudding, which is super vague, but typically pudding is pretty good. You know, chocolate pudding, banana pudding, it's all great. I'll put it in the B tier though, because that is a little vague. I'm not sure what pudding his favorite was. James K. Polk's favorite food was ham and cornbread, which I'll put in the C tier. Like, that's pretty good, but kind of bland at the same time. Zachary Taylor's favorite food was a fried rice fritter called callus. Honestly, sounds pretty underwhelming. Millard Fillmore liked one-pot beef stew with a lot of vegetables. For that reason, it goes at the F tier. Franklin Pierce liked a lot of stuff, like fried pies, clam chowder, and supposedly his all-time favorite was fried clams, which I'll put in the C tier. It sounds okay, I guess. But you know it's not okay? Sauerkraut. That is a cabbage dish that was apparently James Buchanan's favorite food. Now, Abraham Lincoln liked lots of food, but apparently his favorite was bacon. I'll put it at the B tier. Can't go wrong with bacon. I do think it works better when you put it on other stuff though, as opposed to having it by itself. Andrew Johnson liked Hoppin' John the best, which is a southern dish with rice. Usually it has meat, but it also has vegetables, so I can't rank it too high. I am not a vegetables guy. What's really weird though is Ulysses S. Grant liked rice pudding. That is one of the most bland things I've ever heard of. Boring! As for Rutherford B. Hayes, he liked cornmeal pancakes, so kind of along the same lines as hoe cakes like George Washington liked. James A. Garfield liked squirrel soup, probably with vegetables too, so that also goes at the bottom. As for Chester Arthur, he may have had a great taste in facial hair, but his taste in taste, not so much. Because his favorite food was turtle steak. Now, to be fair, I've never tried it, but too bad. That goes, let's actually put it in the D tier. It might have actually been fine as long as he wasn't eating it with vegetables. Grover Cleveland liked corned beef and cabbage. As you can see in the picture, it's in the little container because those were obviously mass-produced at the time. I'll put it in the D tier. It's not as bad as the ones in the F tier. Benjamin Harrison liked corn as his favorite food. That is ridiculous. Like, why do people like vegetables so much? I know many of them grew up on farms, and back then they ate to survive, not for enjoyment, but still, there's no excuse. William McKinley liked meat and fish the best. I'll put it in the B tier. Not bad, but if you're making a whole meal out of all that, add some fries in there for crying out loud. Now, Teddy Roosevelt apparently really liked fried chicken with gravy, but according to a letter he wrote to someone in 1903, the best thing he had actually ever eaten was moose meat. I haven't tried it, but it sounds solid. I'll put it in the B tier. As for William Howard Taft, his favorite food was steak and potatoes, which he probably needed to cut back on so he didn't get stuck in the bathtub. But obviously, that's a classic dish. It's solid. I'll put it in the C tier because it's not quite as artificial as I would want for my standards, but still pretty good. Woodrow Wilson liked chicken salad, and I'll put it in the C tier, actually. I'll just put it at the bottom of the C tier because chicken is good. I don't mind too much salad, but I'm very curious as to how many vegetables he put in. Warren G. Harding liked chicken pot pie, and actually I'll also put that in the C tier. It's also pretty good if you don't have too many vegetables. I really need to shut up about the vegetables. Calvin Coolidge's favorite food was also a pie, but it was pork and apple pie, which I'll probably put in the C tier. Why not? It doesn't sound terrible. Sometimes sweet and salty does go together, but it just sounds a little bit underwhelming. Herbert Hoover, however, liked sweet potatoes and marshmallows, a classic Thanksgiving dish. Sorry, but I'm putting that at the D tier. I like marshmallows. I actually love marshmallows, but sweet potatoes, not a fan. FDR's favorite food was grilled cheese. That's honestly an excellent pick. I'll put that in the B tier. I'm not sure how fancy his grilled cheese is, but it's usually better if you have some meat with it, which, you don't get that with grilled cheese, but it's still really good. As for Harry S. Truman, supposedly his favorite food was fried chicken. Obviously, it varies depending on where you search it. This picture does not have fried chicken, but I'll just put it in the S tier. It's okay. Pretend it's fried chicken.
It's the only way that you're going to get chicken that is finger-licking good.
We actually have more people entering the S tier here with Dwight D. Eisenhower. His favorite food was fudge. Such an excellent pick. And I'm more of a savory over sweet guy, but I mean, fudge, that's amazing. Going down in quality, though, we have JFK's pick, fish chowder. Honestly, I'll put it in the C tier. There's worse than that. Lyndon B. Johnson was known for liking barbecue meals, usually with mashed potatoes and gravy. I'll put that in the B tier, one of those solid classic American meals. Richard Nixon's favorite food was cottage cheese, which he would eat with ketchup sometimes, or maybe pineapple. I know a lot of people think cottage cheese is disgusting. I can eat it, I'll be fine with it, but it is not the best food ever. That goes in the C tier. As for Gerald Ford, his favorite food was pot roast. I'll put it in the B tier. He did like to eat it with red cabbage and other vegetables, which I probably would not do myself, but pot roast itself is fine. This next one is not good though. Jimmy Carter's favorite food was grits. Then we have Ronald Reagan, whose favorite food was jelly beans. Honestly, I'll put that at the top of the A tier. What an absolutely underrated candy. This is as good as non-chocolate candy gets. Then we have George H.W. Bush, whose favorite food was pork rinds. Something that I wish I liked more than I did, but at the end of the day, it's just underwhelming. I'm putting it in the D tier. Bill Clinton was known for liking chicken enchiladas and a lot of things, but supposedly his favorite is, in fact, cheeseburgers, often with jalapenos on them. That is going in the S tier. Cheeseburger is the default American food, just an absolute classic. But you know what? George W. Bush, his favorite food is cheeseburger pizza, which is basically cheeseburger in the texture of pizza. If you haven't had it, try it. It's amazing. It goes in the A tier. Apparently, Obama's favorite food is nachos, which I will put in the A tier. There's definitely a lot of different toppings you can put on them. You can customize them. Donald Trump's favorite food, however, is McDonald's.
How do you do it? What's your secret?
He also likes KFC a lot. But yeah, that's going at the top of the S tier. I love McDonald's. It has a soft spot in my heart, and you get an excellent variety there. I mean, just McDonald's in general is pretty vague, so there's a lot of great stuff you can get there. Nothing's going to beat that. But as for Joe Biden, his favorite food is ice cream. I have to put that in the S tier, because obviously James Madison also liked ice cream, but that was only vanilla, whereas this is just the general, vague ice cream. It can be any type of ice cream you want. And can you imagine a world without ice cream? So overall, that is my completed tier list. Share how you'd rank these foods in the comments section down below. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.